Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are entering into week number 7, and as you're probably viewing this, it is Monday, November the 27th, or it could be Tuesday, November the 28th, but this is our week number 7. I'm hoping that everyone had a good Thanksgiving break, as last week we had our Thanksgiving break. And I'm hoping that everyone had the chance and the opportunity to be able to enjoy it with your family as well as your loved ones. Now we are back to business. A few things that I want to address before I get into what's due or what's expected of you when it comes to week 7. I want to talk about the announcement that I made a little bit earlier, and that was pertaining to late missing assignments. Now, as we wrapped up week number 6 before we went on Thanksgiving break last week, there were some assignments that were submitted. And what I'm going to be doing, I will be grading that over the next day or two. But however, though, assignments that have not been submitted yet, work that has not been turned in yet, Friday, December the 1st is going to be your cutoff. After Friday, December the 1st, and this is written into our course shell, as you can see right here, at 11:59 p.m., I'm not going to be accepting any more late work. You will be given, or your grade towards that particular assignment that's missing will remain a 0. Okay, and this is my last statement that I'm going to make pertaining to this. So you have until December the 1st, 11:59 p.m. to submit any late or missing work. And really, I've been quite lenient. If you look at your syllabus, if you read your syllabus, I have it blurbed in terms of language that there's a 10% reduction on a daily basis for assignments that are submitted late. So as you know, the formality of how we've been doing things throughout this course is your discussion activities are due on Thursday evenings, and your main assignment for the week is due on Saturday evenings. So again, missing late work is due Friday, December the 1st, 11:59 p.m. After that, that is it. No, I will not be extending this any further. Your grade will remain a 0 for certain assignments that you have not yet submitted. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me regarding this. So a few things that I want to talk about here in this video. Number one is week number 7. As we get into looking at how we're going to control our overhead cost within our establishment and forecasting those costs. So take some time to look over the material, of course, that I've provided here within the lesson in writing in terms of how you're going to control those costs, those overhead costs. And data is very important when it comes to that. So, for example, collecting historical data, there's different methods that you could use pertaining to that. Okay, when it comes to trying to control those overhead costs or keeping them minimum. So look at this, and also qualitative data. So qualitative as opposed to quantitative. You know that the um, hospitality industry relies mainly on qualitative data. When you are serving guests, when you are preparing food, when you are running a restaurant establishment, that happens to be a very strong example of qualitative when it comes to service. So qualitative service turns and leads into qualitative data, especially historical data, when you can look back over the previous week or the previous couple of weeks or the previous months or whatever it may be regarding your actual sales and your profits, as well as comparing those sales and profits to your overhead in terms of your cost. So, for example, you're going to have different types of overhead costs. You're going to have some that are fixed, and you're going to have some that happen to be variable when it comes to cost. So look at this, and this is really good as it gives some examples to qualitative data. For example, I have some points here in Roman numerals. It talks about guest checking, It talks about the average check or the revenue for a period. Also, the guest for a period. It talks about seat turnovers. It talks about the number of customers that you happen to seat within the restaurant. And it also talks about different variables when it comes to seat turnover. For example, this actually minimizes the qualitative service when it comes to an establishment. Slow kitchen service, not getting the dishes out within a reasonable time period, as well as maybe an understaffed dining room. You don't have enough servers. You don't have enough waiters or waitresses, okay, to tend to the guest. And then you also have long waiting times to be seated. So, for example, Red Lobster, a prime example, okay, on a Friday night, the wait time may be 20 or 25 minutes. I think you may have some people that may walk into the establishment that get to be a little disgruntled, and they may not want to wait 20 or 25 minutes to be seated. So this is connected, okay, when it comes to variables. And I think this kind of has a negative connotation to it in terms of how many customers can you get seated within an efficient time manner, and you can get them served, and you can give good quality in terms of not only the food, but also the service. So again, take some time to look at this, and then also, of course, with the required course materials, what I've done is that I've also provided a PowerPoint slide that does reflect on these chapters. And then also, marketing is a very important tool. I talk about this a lot as I also have been a marketing instructor. I have taught marketing concepts and principles, okay, when it comes to measuring your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, as well as your threats to your business. So we are going to embark on talking about marketing this week as well. So you have to measure your competition in so many words. And then marketing is also connected to branding. The branding of your establishment helps you to stand out compared to others. There's something significant that you are associated with, or that you are connected to, or that makes you distinguished, that individuals want to come to you and give them your service, and they want to patronize you. So, what is the branding when it comes to what makes you stand out in terms of marketing efficiency? So, take a look at this as I do give some other examples here of variable fixed cost, and then it kind of ties in, of course, with the development of your product as well as marketing development. So, of course, this week, what you're going to have, we're going to have our discussion activities, 2 discussion threads. And I see that some people have actually engaged in those already. These are going to be due on Thursday night at 11:59 p.m. So, Thursday night on November the 30th, have your initial response to these discussion questions. And then, of course, your assignment is going to be due on Saturday night. And what you're going to do is you're going to work on another PowerPoint presentation. So, week 7 is centered around marketing and product development. So, what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a new product. You're going to talk about this product. It has to be food related and nothing else. Do not put this presentation or develop this project together on something that's outside of the spectrum of being food related. It has to be food related. And what I want the class to do, I want the class to come up with a 5-slide PowerPoint presentation on how you would market the product. So this is what I'm looking for. I want you to talk about in the first slide the product you're developing. Give details about the product. The second slide, I want you to discuss the competition. Are there any competitors out there, and have they developed the same product? The third slide, talk about your advertising. Advertising is connected to marketing strategy. How are you going to advertise? Are you going to use social media, TV, radio, billboards? Are you going to develop a website? Give me details. The fourth slide, you're going to talk about diversification in terms of your customer base. Will you be looking to reach a different age or ethnic group? And that is identified as being range. You want to be able to diversify your customer base, and you want to be able to reach different ethnic groups as well as the different genders. And then in the fifth slide, I want you to give me a conclusion. So give me a summary of what you want the outcomes to be of the new product. This is going to be your main assignment. That's going to be on Saturday. It's going to be due Saturday, December the 2nd at 11:59 p.m. And also make sure that you give me a cover slide to this PowerPoint presentation as you actually put it together and submit it over to me. That is going to be your week 7 assignment. One last thing I want to talk about here, and this is very important, and I have been emphasizing this over the last few weeks, is that in the final week right here, I hope that everyone is working on the main paper that is due within this course. So the main assignment, which is going to be based on Quest Cuisine, right here, and I'm quite sure that everybody's looked at that. If you have looked at my video instructions over the last 4 weeks, I've been talking about the main assignment, and I've been giving advice to everyone in terms of how you should do the research. Begin the research ahead of time. Don't wait until week 7 to do the research and begin to compile the rough draft of this paper together. But however, though, in week number 4, I begin to plug on when you should start working towards the final assignment when it comes to researching and putting your sources together to put together a rough draft paper, which you would there write the final draft of the paper and you will submit it over to me. Now, please do not get confused, class, because this is not going to be due until next week. Okay, this class is going to be running through until next week, so we have another week to go after this week. Okay, so I'm hoping that everyone is working on the final assignment. If you have any questions, okay, regarding the instructions in terms of how to complete the final paper, feel free to reach out to me during my hours of availability. Okay, everyone, that is going to do it. Welcome into week number 7. Of course, I'm here to answer your questions. Feel free to send me an email, or you can give me a call when I am available during phone hours to be reached, or even if you want to set up a Zoom call or a Zoom chat, we can do that as well. Okay, everyone, have a great Sunday night and the beginning of the week. I hope does you well. I will be talking to you soon.